So this next selection, well, I should say this is probably one of my favorites on the program, just because of the backstory. So we have to kind of back up a little bit. All of the pieces, I should say, all of the pieces that we're hearing today wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the sort of the stuff that certain composers did first a long time ago. I mean, technically this starts with Beethoven. If you get to know me at all, I'll bring everything back to Beethoven, but we don't have to do that now. So this next composer is Berlioz. And Berlioz was kind of a weird guy. He wrote a lot of weird stuff, and it was kind of, people thought he was weird, but a lot of people respected him for it, you know, kind of like today with things. But he wrote this really big piece that was kind of unprecedented at the time. At the time, composers of this tradition were writing music based on the form. You can kind of think of it like song form, like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, but it was sonata form, so it was exposition, development, recapitulation. And so there were a lot of the standards that were happening. So Berlioz broke a lot of those standards. And one of the things he did with this particular piece called Symphonie Fantastique, because the symphonic form was its own thing, is he expanded upon that and kind of changed a lot of the stuff. We're gonna play one of the movements from this Symphonie Fantastique. And the thing that really Berlioz did differently than a lot of folks at the time, save Beethoven and his Sixth Symphony, was kind of started the idea of programmatic music. The idea that you hear something and you can visualize something that goes along with it. That wasn't a thing in Mozart and Bach. It was just music. It was just notes, right? So this entire symphony, the Symphonie Fantastique, is this idea that, well, how many kids are here? Okay, yeah, it's okay. Well, okay, so there's this plant that you can ingest, and it makes you think certain things and feel certain ways. He essentially did that, and then the program of the piece is that he did that, and then all of these things happened. And one of the things, he was kind of a weird guy, so he had this weird thing about this girl that he really liked. And you know how men get, right? So he had then the flower thing and ingesting, and it gets him really weird, and he kind of hallucinates that he murders the person he fancies. And then in this particular part of the story, this movement is him being taken to, now he's French, so he's being taken to the guillotine for the punishment, which we all know at the time was the right? And so this is very programmatic in that. So you can imagine this sort of, in his mind, he has killed her, and then they're taking him there, and the very end of the movement, he's in the thing, and he's ready to get, right? And then he looks out into the crowd, and then he sees her just before, and he realizes, oh, I didn't do it. Because he confesses, oh no, I killed her, I did this, and they take him away. And then he sees her, realizes, oh, he didn't, and then just right. So there's a theme, so what he does, and it's kind of a thing that you could think of like it's in Star Wars, when you think about Darth Vader, or you can hear Darth Vader coming in the music, right? It's the same sort of thing, it's called a leitmotif, and they didn't define it as that at the time. But there's this clarinet solo line that you hear at the very end of the movement, about 4.5 minutes in, and it's like everything's crazy, blah, whatever, and then all of a sudden it gets quiet, and then you hear this one clarinet. That is her in the audience. So when we're listening to this just now, right now, you can say, oh, there we are, and then you'll know what comes next. Yes? Okay.